All right, so an important concept from the wrestling world that's a part of the kind of the hand fighting process is something called head position. And really what I mean by head position is I'm fighting with my head, driving it into my opponent. He's going to be doing the same thing, so now we're actually head fighting, right? And both of us are trying to battle the head position. We know that Zane's using his hands to move my head. But what I mean by head position really is that this part of my head, the hard part, the forehead, is pointed right at the center line of my opponent's body, right where his spine is at, all the time. I'm pointing straight at him. And then also, I want to be, I actually don't want to get too low because I can get in trouble, but I really want to be like matching his elevation or maybe even a little lower. And the reason for this is that head position really has two purposes. The first is defensive utility, right? So if Zane's trying to take a shot, he really has to beat my head in order to shoot. And so if I maintain solid head position all the time, obviously it's almost impossible for him to shoot it. The second thing is there's also offensive utility to head position. So right now, we both have head position, so neither one of us has the advantage. But if I'm able to beat Zane's head position with my head position, all of a sudden that whole side of his body is open to me. And it's going to be a lot easier for me to attack his legs or attack his body once I have beaten his head position. So again, head position has defensive utility, also has offensive utility. And so something really to note is you should be mean with your head position, right? So this is the hardest part of the human body. You're really not going to hurt yourself if you lead with this. Obviously, if you lead with your face, you're probably going to get hurt. But if you lead with your forehead, you can really bang pretty hard. I'm not talking about delivering a headbutt, but you can still bang pretty hard without hurting yourself or your opponent. The last thing to say is, obviously this is not for wrestling, this is for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And so it's something to be obviously attended to is, as I'm fighting from head position, I want to be wary not to give my head up. So something to pay attention to.